Alright, so we've got Persian rice pilau next. So I've got a pot onto the heat, I've got a touch of oil in there. I'm just going to add a little pinch of asafoetida. Just let those flavours activate for a moment in the oil. Once I do, we can add the water in. And if you have saffron, saffron's a really good thing to use in this dish. I'm using turmeric because I, one, don't have saffron and it's a really expensive thing and it is difficult to obtain too. But turmeric, it's giving a nice colour, but turmeric also has so many benefits to it. It has that natural antiseptic, really good for the skin. So turmeric's fantastic to use as well, although it's not really the traditional thing for Persian food. We'll strain off our lentils. These lentils have been soaking for a couple of hours, so they've already soaked up quite a lot of water. And strain our rice. Rice has been soaking also, not for quite as long. And we'll pop those in. That pot can come up onto a high heat now. That little seasoning. I'm making a fairly plain version to this dish. There's different vegetables you could put in as well. You could also add, if you wanted, grated carrot would give a nice touch. Eggplant can also be used in here. So we'll just give that a stir like so. And dates and raisins can go in. Cardamom pods. Depending on how much you like it and how good your cardamom pods are, you'd probably put 6 to 8 in there. We're going to leave them whole, so I'm just going to crack them so the flavour can release. So it's a good idea to remember how many you put in so you can try to scoop them out at the end. You may not find them all. It's not the end of the world if there's a couple of whole cardamom pods in there. It is traditional and you would sort of find them in there generally. We'll pop the cardamom in. Two to 3 cinnamon quills. I think just 2 is going to be enough at this stage. Then we'll slice our lemon up fairly thinly. I'm just going to take one more lemon. The top half of that didn't look so nice. And depending on the colour at this stage, you may want to add a little more turmeric or saffron. You want quite a nice sort of yellow colour to be coming through. Just be aware if you are using turmeric, if you put too much it can go a little bit bitter. Just enough to give it that nice colour. As you can see, it's just starting to come up to the boil now. So I'm just going to give one last stir, make sure nothing's sticking there. And with the lemon, we're just going to gently place that on top. Cover with the lid. And basically we're going to leave this now to cook for probably about 30 minutes. So once it has come up to a reasonable boil, we'll turn it down to a very low heat and that will just simmer away gently for about 30 minutes and then we'll come back to it. So we've been cooking away for about 30 minutes now on low heat. So I'm just going to remove the lid. We'll start off just by gently removing the lemon, the cinnamon and any cardamom pods you can see sitting on top. So to be a little bit careful with the lemon because it is quite fragile. It does have a tendency to stick to your tongue and flick off everywhere. And cinnamon, as you can see, these ones are still whole, so it's okay, they're relatively easy to remove. But sometimes you do have to be aware if they crumble and break up on you, you'll get bits of cinnamon. And cardamom pods, they're relatively easy to pick out because they will have puffed up and they'll all be floating on the top. So if you can remember how many you put in, you'll be able to get those out. Looks like it. Just pop the lid back on for a moment. We'll turn that off the heat. And we'll just quickly chop our parsley up. Okay. Put most of that parsley and just save a little sprinkle for on top. Ready. Now we'll just gently hold that parsley through, fluffing up the rice and lentils. As you can see, you got great colours there, smells fantastic, and we're ready to go. There's a lot of variations you can do with this sort of dish too. You can also put nuts in, almonds, cashews. Sprinkle a little parsley on top. And if you're serving this in a bowl for a group to share, you can also garnish with the cinnamon that was already in there. Just putting that on top like so. So we have Persian rice pilau. Enjoy.